And during that interview, she talked to you about being a part of YSL, correct?
I don't recall what I talked to with any of these police is about. I just know that I was trying to get them off of me. And I'm finna make up whatever, if they bring up whatever topic, I'm finna make up something to get them off of me. I'm a victim in every situation. I'm an innocent in everything I do.
Do you recall her asking you was Billy Blood? And your response was, I was, but. And she didn't ask you, what are you now? And your response is, that's the point. They got mad because I didn't go back with Inglewood because I hang with Thug and I'm YSL.
I don't recall saying that.
And then you also continue to say that the Inglewood family people were also mad at Little D because he used to be Inglewood. And when he got in, excuse me, strike that. You also continue to say that Inglewood was mad at Little D as well, correct?
I don't recall.
And that when Little D got jumped by MDC, they laughed at him because they thought YSL should have helped him out in the club.
YSL is not a game. So you can't, y'all keep trying to attach that to things that go on. If YSL was a game and you saying that I was Billy Blood and Lil D was If game, how the hell, excuse my language, how would all us be YSL if we all supposed to be this and that and that? It don't make sense. If you're a gang, you only gonna be one thing.
Doesn't YSL have both Blood and Crip gang members?
YSL is a record label.
Were you ever signed to YSL as a record label?
Y'all keep locking me up.
Were you ever signed to YSL as a record label?
No.
When you got out of jail and you were doing your rap videos, were you signed to YSL?
I was signed to somebody else.
Okay, so you've never been on YSL, the record label, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So when we're talking about you was Billy Blood, but now I'm with Thug and them, I'm YSL, Billy Blood is not a record label, correct?
But when you're speaking on gang,
is Billy Blood a record label?
All right, Bella, he didn't seem to be answering. Go ahead and answer the question that's on the floor.
Is Billy Blood a record label?
I don't know what Billy Blood is.
So when she asked
saying it wrong?
She asked you was Billy Blood. You said, I was, but.
I'm talking to the police, so I don't recall what I don't say it to them. But when you're trying to say gang, it's a difference. When you put the gang on things, you go into where I was. I was a 30 Deep gang member. You can't say I was a YSL gang member. YSL was never considered a gang. Y'all making it a game.
When you responded, I didn't go back to Inglewood because I hang with Thug and I'm YSL. Did you say I'm part of YSL, a record label?
Listen. It's not a game. You know what I mean? It don't matter how y'all try to put it, how y'all trying to see it. A gang is these people right here, everybody right here, and everybody. You can't put Crips and Bloods together and say that this is a game. Because if the Crips and Bloods get into it and everybody just saying that, you know, they YSL, they got to pick what they going to choose. You can't say, like when I was down the road and then people like, oh, that's Woody. He be with Young Thug, such. And the Blood's like, well, he not Blood. And then the Crips like, well, so when they get in, it don't make sense. Y'all got to get that. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all in here trying to make something more than what it is. It's not.
Is Duke a Crip?
I don't know. Ask Duke.
I'm asking you.
I don't recall.
Okay. And is Duke a part of YSL?
Ask Duke.
I'm asking you.
But we speaking on gang.
I asked you a simple question. Is Duke a Crip?
I don't know. I'm not a Crip. Never was.
That's not what I asked you.
I can't tell you who's a Crip and who's a Blood.
Do you know if Duke is a Crip?
I know I'm a civilian.
Overruled.
Do you know if Duke is a Crip?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you know if Duke is a member of YSL?
I don't recall.
Also, in this February interview with Detective Gaither, did you also speak to her about the gambling house shooting that occurred in Lakewood?
I don't recall.
Did you tell her the whole time it come back on Kel and them, because there's a little gambling house we go hang out and gamble. We go there, we gamble, we come out and leave. Kel and them in the bushes. Kel, Stewie, they never mentioned the third person name. They in the bushes. They start shooting at us, and they shot so many times. Shit, I was just glad to be alive.
I don't recall.
And when she asked you what gambling house, you said in Lakewood. They shot so many times. So damn near shot everybody's car. But they missed everybody and grazed one person across his back. But when the police came, he had already left. Couple people left, but it was Kel. Do you recall?
I don't recall.
And in fact, you told Detective Gaither a reason why you found out it was Kel is because he got into it with Gucci Red, and she came back and told you all that it was Kel that shot up the gambling house.
I'm talking to the police. I'm going to tell them anything to get them out my face. I don't recall what I don't told them, so you keep asking me the same these questions about what I told the police. Ask me about what's going on today. I don't recall about no lies I don't told in the past.
Back in 2015, were you afraid to come to court to testify if you had to against Tay?
Can you say it again?
Sure. Back in 2015, when you had this interview with Detective Gaither, were you afraid that you would have to come to court to testify against Tay?
Miss Hylton, you know I'm not afraid of nothing that's walking on this earth.
Okay.
You know that.
Looking at that interview, did you tell Detective Gaither, if I describe him in your case, I will have to come to court?
I don't recall. What I don't told the investigator, whatever you call them.
And then you also asked Detective Gaither, if you point him out, meaning Tay, that's going to make it in his discovery packet.
I don't recall. Nothing I don't told the investigators.
And matter of fact, Detective Gaither said to you, I mean, if you identify him, you a victim. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's not going to eventually come out.
I don't recall. Nothing I told the investigators.
And you told her, man, I know if I do this, shit just going to get worse and worse.
Miss Hylton, I don't recall nothing I don't told the investigators.
And you continue to say, nah, I'm worried about he get locked up, he get the discovery, see I circle his picture and put my name on there, and he gonna send it to the street, say I told on him. And they gonna put it on Instagram and Twitter, and they gonna tell everybody, and then I'm gonna just be like, boy, then nobody won't be around me.
But the God honest truth is he never shot at me.
Okay. But back in 2015, your concern was if you pointed him out, you'd be labeled a snitch, correct?
No, my concern was if they locked him up for something that he didn't do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't recall, you know what I mean? I don't recall what I don't told the investigators, but telling them the truth be the last thing I ever do.
And matter of fact, you kept asking, I'm gonna have to come to court, correct?
I don't recall what I just said to the investigators.
And at that point, she tried to encourage you to pick him out of the photographic lineup, correct?
I don't recall.
And then you asked her, what do I have to do then? And she asked you, what you have to do, then what? And you said, after I snitch. And she said to you, it's not snitching, it's telling the truth. If you call it snitching, you circle the person you know that shot at you.
It's snitching when you telling the truth.
And that's what your concern was, correct?
Not if y'all sitting here trying to make me say somebody shot at me that they didn't shoot at me. But if this way it's gonna take, because they keep saying here,